How can us dads pursue our calling, our big dream, while being available with our kids, loving to our wives, leaders at work, keeping fit spiritually and physically while living in this insane world? That is the question, and this podcast has the answer.
I can do anything, but I can't do everything. We can do anything, but we can't do everything. Dads, it's been a while. It's good to be back. My son is officially 1 month old, and I have not been able to record anything in this last month. I heard your advice. You told me that it was going to be tough with the first child, but my mind couldn't grasp it. I wasn't ready for having my son. I wasn't completely unprepared, but my thinking was really naive. I just thought, I'm going to fit him into my schedule. I'm going to fit him into my plans. I'm going to fit being present with him, changing him, burping him, changing him, burping him, changing. There's definitely been a new rhythm of understanding how I can care and be of help to my wife as we're taking care of our son in the first 30 days. I really didn't understand the exhaustion, the combination of not sleeping and the piercing sounds of his cry, the utter defeat of understanding how to take care of my son, to soothe him, to do whatever it's needed. I really thought I'll just approach it how I approach problems, how I approach a logical situation. And he's going to be okay, right? No. I wasn't ready. It is not logical. He goes through his tantrums, and right now it's around 7 p.m. and there is nothing for the next hour and 15 minutes sometimes that we can do to soothe him. I've gotten used to that cry, but I change him, I burp him, we feed him. We go through skin to skin. We take his clothes off to do the skin to skin. We shower him. And he is just shrieking. What might be colics. I do little massages on his stomach that I've been looking up on videos. And Jemima's watching her diet. But man, there is a humbling process. It's been a new experience. Yes, we get through it every day. But there's new lessons, and I'm just thanking God that he got us through another day and that my son's alive. I'm sure a bunch of my dads listening are just laughing. I was asking advice. Would just tell me, just get through the first 3 months and don't isolate. But back to what I wanted to talk about today. So I can do anything, but I can't do everything. I had a choice whether to sleep in for another hour or can I record this podcast. I missed it. I missed the creative process. I missed going forward. I missed the vision that I hope to have for the community that we're creating with Think Like a Dad. But it was a choice and it was hard. The reason why it was so much harder was because my sleep is not linear anymore. You probably can see some of the bags under my eyes if you're watching on video, but if not, if you're listening to audio, I do have some bags under my eyes. I definitely have not gone to the gym. I'm not saying that I haven't had time, but I've made choices to sleep in, to take it slower, to pace myself. It's so naive to think that I can just do everything. And now that I have a son, I am realizing how precious free moments are.
And now we're going to take a quick break and listen to a message from our sponsor.
Dads, are you tired of your family asking why you drink so much? Are you tired of your wife asking how many beers you had yesterday? Are you tired of your family giving you that look every time you pick up a glass? I know where you're coming from. And that's why I created the Dad's Guide to stop drinking or pause your drinking fast. I'm sharing it with you, free download at thinklikeadad.com, thinklikeadad.com. Just think of how it's going to feel to go to any event and not have the pressure of having to pick up a drink, or what it's going to be like to wake up hangover free, to go on that run that you've been planning, to play with your kids early in the morning. I went from drinking every day to actually stopping and staying stopped for the last 15 years. And I packed all the secrets right in this book that I made. So download the guide at thinklikeadad.com to learn how to put the plug in the jug stress-free. Download it now, thinklikeadad.com. How important it is to plan the time that you have when your baby's not crying or when your baby is asleep. That's really the times I'm able to line up the 1 to 3 things I have in the day that I can actually do and make some progress on. But as soon as he wakes up, as soon as he needs something, as soon as I can help my wife with his care, I want to be there. So I can already see what you dads have said about the days are long, but the years go by fast. He's already a month old, and I remember him being born, and it feels like last week. I do not want to be holding him and thinking about something else. And I am practicing that mindfulness. I am practicing being where my feet are, especially when I'm holding him. But if I don't make choices on what I can do in those limited gaps of time, what ends up happening with me is that I'll fill them up with activities that aren't meaningful, like Netflix, worrying about money, the future, like being angry, to spend my time that has become so much more precious. And that means that I have to choose. How I do that is on paper. Leaving it on paper is not good enough. I need it in front of me. I need it on a calendar. I use Google Calendar, right? No, I don't use Google Calendar. I put in some dates that I think are important in hopes that my phone will remind me and I'll remember, like birthdays or later that afternoon or a doctor's appointment. But I'm not utilizing how it should be leveraged. But how you're supposed to use your calendar is literally planning everything. And this goes back to what Chris told me about time blocking. Time blocking, at least how I understand it, you guard your boundaries with your time. And how to do that is with your calendar. If you don't write out the entire plan of the day, which is how I have lived my 38 years of life up until now, I go with the flow. And I've already noticed that if I don't have a plan, then someone else's urgency of an item, I'll feel it and I'll put it to the top of the list. There isn't something to show me, hey, I'm doing this activity instead of what I'm supposed to do because there isn't a plan there. My friend Wayne talked about leveraging his calendar as well and how he even writes down his downtime. when he's going to watch 45 minutes of Netflix, he has a start and an end time. Jim Rohn said, we don't need new truths. We just need them said in different ways. So this is my attempt to tell myself and hopefully to remind the dads that want to be better. That's my hope. I just want to be a better dad, better than I was yesterday. Not comparing to my neighbor, not comparing to someone I can look down on or that I can look up to and take his outsides and compare it to my insides. Not an unfair comparison. No. Comparing to my yesterday. How can I be that little bit better to journey well? So I always thought prude meant lacking life experience. I was wrong. I wanted to do this word study, and I looked up what's the definition of prudence in the Bible. The King James Dictionary says, wisdom applied to practice. I want more wisdom for us as dads. Wisdom that maybe we didn't get in our upbringing, wisdom that we didn't have access to have a better family, to raise our sons, to raise our daughters. Prudence differs from wisdom in this, that prudence implies more caution and reserve than wisdom, or is exercised more in foreseeing and avoiding evil than in devising and executing that which is good. I want to look at my path. I want to look at what's coming ahead based on the actions that I'm taking, based on the plans that I'm doing. And I want to make sure I'm staying on the path. It's kind of like the compass. There is a choice. I can't do everything, but I can hope to do anything that's going to make me a better dad, that's going to make me a better man, that's going to make me a better husband, that's going to level me up. And it's a simple choice that I want to practice with you. And it's taking our calendar and time blocking. If you want to keep going down this wisdom journey for dads, like and subscribe. Let's keep thriving.